Why the Caspian Sea is so important for Russia and Iran. What if I told you that the most strategically important sea in the world isn't even a sea? It has no connection to the ocean. It's surrounded by just 5 countries. And yet, it's one of the most contested, resource-rich, and politically sensitive regions on Earth. Welcome to the Caspian Sea, a place where energy, power, military strategy, and global politics collide. And at the center of it all, 2 major players, Russia and Iran. Why do these 2 countries care so much about this inland body of water? Why has it become a hidden battlefield for influence, trade, and survival? Let's break it down. What makes the Caspian Sea so unique? The Caspian Sea is the largest enclosed body of water on Earth, covering over 370,000 square kilometers. It borders 5 countries: Russia, Iran, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. But here's the catch. It's not technically a sea, it's actually a giant lake. Yet calling it a sea isn't just semantics, it's political. Because if it's a sea, countries can divide it differently. And if it's a lake, the rules completely change. This legal ambiguity has shaped decades of tension, negotiations, and power struggles. The energy treasure beneath. Let's start with the biggest reason: oil and gas. The Caspian region holds around 48 billion barrels of oil, nearly 300 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. That's massive. To put it simply, this region is one of the most important energy hubs in the world. It produces millions of barrels per day and accounts for a significant portion of the surrounding countries' economies. Why this matters for Russia? Russia is already an energy superpower, but controlling or influencing Caspian resources means dominating regional energy flows, controlling export routes, maintaining geopolitical leverage over neighbors. The Caspian strengthens Russia's position as a global energy giant. Why this matters for Iran? Iran has huge energy reserves, but faces sanctions and infrastructure challenges. The Caspian offers new oil and gas exploration opportunities, alternative partnerships, especially with Russia, economic lifelines outside Western-controlled systems. Even though Iran hasn't fully exploited its Caspian resources yet, it's increasingly investing in them. A sanctions-proof trade route. Here's where things get really interesting. Both Russia and Iran are heavily sanctioned by Western countries. So how do they trade? Enter the Caspian Sea. This inland waterway has become a critical sanctions-resistant corridor. Why it's so powerful? No direct access for Western naval forces. Limited international oversight. Direct shipping routes between Russia and Iran. Recent reports show Russia exporting grain to Iran via the Caspian. Ships moving goods safely even during regional conflicts. Experts say the Caspian is becoming a sanctions-busting hub connecting the 2 economies. Military and strategic power. The Caspian Sea is not just about trade. It's also about military control. Russia's perspective. Russia sees the Caspian as vital for securing its southern border, maintaining influence over former Soviet states, projecting military power in the region. It even maintains a Caspian naval fleet. And here's something many people don't realize. Russia has launched missiles from the Caspian Sea in past conflicts. Iran's perspective. For Iran, the Caspian offers a relatively secure northern front, a buffer zone away from hostile regions, a strategic connection to Russia. In times of conflict, the Caspian becomes a safe military and logistics corridor. Recent tensions even raised fears of conflict spilling into the Caspian region, showing how sensitive it is geopolitically. Iran's perspective. For Iran, the Caspian offers a relatively secure northern front, a buffer zone away from hostile regions, a strategic connection to Russia. In times of conflict, the Caspian becomes a safe military and logistics corridor. Recent tensions even raised fears of conflict spilling into the Caspian region, showing how sensitive it is geopolitically. The geopolitical chessboard. The Caspian Sea is not just about Russia and Iran. It's a global chessboard. Why? Because multiple powers are competing for influence. Europe wants alternative energy routes. China invests for long-term energy security. The U.S. aims to limit Russian and Iranian dominance. The region sits at the crossroads of Europe, Central Asia, the Middle East, which makes it a strategic crossroads of global geopolitics. Pipelines, corridors, and control. Energy isn't just about resources, it's about transport. Whoever controls the routes controls the power. The Caspian is central to oil pipelines to Europe, gas routes bypassing Russia, trade corridors linking Asia and Europe. Russia wants to maintain dominance over these routes. Iran wants to become a key transit hub. This creates both cooperation, competition, Russia-Iran partnership. Interestingly, the Caspian has transformed Russia and Iran's relationship. Historically, they were rivals. Today, they are increasingly partners. Why? Shared opposition to Western sanctions, economic cooperation, military coordination. The Caspian Sea plays a central role in this partnership. It's a trade corridor, a strategic buffer, a shared resource. Sanctions have pushed both countries closer together, making the Caspian more important than ever. The legal battle. For decades, countries argued over one key question: who owns the Caspian Sea? This isn't simple, because dividing a lake versus a sea leads to completely different outcomes. After years of disputes, a major agreement was signed in 2018. It defined territorial waters, allowed resource sharing, limited foreign military presence. But tensions still remain. Environmental crisis. Here's the twist. While countries fight over resources, the Caspian Sea itself is shrinking. Water levels are falling rapidly, up to several centimeters per year. Scientists warn it could drop dramatically by the end of the century. This threatens fishing industries, biodiversity, coastal economies, and, ironically, it could reshape the entire geopolitical landscape. Why it matters right now. The Caspian Sea is becoming even more important today because of 1. Global energy crisis. Conflicts and instability increase demand for alternative energy sources. 2. Sanctions on Russia and Iran. The Caspian provides a workaround for trade and cooperation. 3. Regional conflicts. Tensions in the Middle East and Eastern Europe make secure routes more valuable. 4. Shifting global power. New alliances are forming, and the Caspian is at the center. Final thoughts. The Caspian Sea might look like just a large body of water on the map, but in reality, it is a massive energy reserve, a strategic military zone, a sanctions-proof trade corridor, a geopolitical battleground. For Russia, it's about power and control. For Iran, it's about survival and opportunity. And for the world, it's one of the most important and least understood regions shaping the future. If you found this interesting, make sure to like and subscribe, because the next time you look at a map, you might see the Caspian Sea differently, not just as water, but as one of the most powerful places on Earth. If you want, I can also turn this into a voiceover script with timestamps, add visual scene suggestions, or shorten it into a 10-minute viral YouTube version.